So I have around about 17 unfinished projects on my desk right now. There's a novel, there's two short stories, a whole bunch of comic ideas, and a Substack that I still haven't really launched properly. For years, I told myself the same story about this, that I was flaky, that I had no follow through, and that the real creatives finish what they start, and that there was something broken in my brain that made me not want to finish these projects. Recently, I started looking at all these unfinished things a little bit different, and what I found was not what I expected. What I noticed when I actually looked at the pattern was that every single project that I abandoned at roughly the same moment. Not at the start, not at the end, but right in the middle. Specifically, the moment when the project stopped becoming a glorious idea and started being work. You know, the feeling at the beginning of the thing when it's full of potential, when it could be anything, when you're lying in bed at 11 p.m. typing out notes onto your phone because your brain is full of ideas. That feeling's incredible. Then you sit down on day three and the thing is still a thing. It doesn't write itself, doesn't draw the panels for yourself, and there's still issues. Nothing has magically resolved itself while you were asleep. And somewhere around day 5 to 10, a quiet little voice shows up and goes, "You know what would be a really exciting right now? A new idea." And the new idea is perfect because it's got no problems. You don't have to draw it yet. There's no scenes that are dragging you down. It's just pure potential. And there you go. The cycle starts all over again. So here's what actually helped. I used to think that every unfinished project was a personal failing, like the projects existed to be finished. And if I didn't finish, therefore, I must have failed. That's assuming the only value of a project can be its completion. And I don't think that is true. Some of these unfinished projects taught me something I needed. A story that I abandoned, a comic that I stopped drawing, taught me something. There was something in there that stopped me from completing it and going, there's something wrong with this, or there's an issue with this. Some of my unfinished things existed to get something out of my system, an idea that I needed to explore, a voice I needed to try on, a scene that was haunting me. And once it was written or drawn or sketched, I didn't need to turn it into a 40,000 word document or a 50-page comic book. And some of them I just abandoned because deep down I knew they weren't good enough. And rather than sit with that and try and make them better, I decided to not hold on and walk away. There's a great phrase that says, kill your darlings. And maybe subconsciously, that's what I'm doing with some of these projects. That's not failure. That's a creative person being a creative person. That's how ideas work. You follow them until they teach you what they come to teach you. So I did something a little bit nerdy and I looked at all of my unfinished projects and tried to find a pattern. What do they share? Most of them have one thing in common. I started them for the wrong reasons. A lot of these projects that I have started is for social media. They're for content. They're to make a video of. They're to put in a blog post. They're to put on my Substack. They're to do something with. That shouldn't be why you make something. The reason why you should make something is because you love it, because you want to, because you need to get this thing out of your brain and onto paper or a screen or in a book or wherever it needs to be, just to get it out of your head and done. You're not doing this for anybody else apart from yourself. And that is where most of my projects have failed. I have 17 unfinished things on my desk, and there's one that I'm not abandoning. I'm not going to tell you too much about it because what I've learned, that is also a trap. The moment you describe a project in enough detail, it starts to feel real. Real in a way that lets your brain tick it off as it's done before you've even started. But I will say this, I'm very excited about getting this project actually finished. And I'm more and more determined to get it done with each and every page that I draw. It is a comic. It will be done. I will finish something. So 17 unfinished projects. One I'm working on, 16 that have taught me something about what I like, what I don't like, and who I'm actually doing this for. It's not failure, it's a learning curve. If you've got a desk covered of half finished things, I'm not here to tell you to go and finish all of them. I'm here to tell you, look at them. Actually look. because one of them is probably the thing that you were always supposed to be making. You just haven't been ready to admit it yet. Subscribe if you want to watch me figure out what I'm doing here in real time. It's going to be probably going to be an absolute disaster, but we'll get there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.